Hi, I'm Eddie and welcome to Eddie the channel. Just want to talk to you about plastics. They're a great invention for the modern world. You make them into anything you like. But the drawback is recycling or things that can't get recycled. And microplastics. Not so good when you're ingesting it all the time and you don't even know about it. With plastics, I think local governments have a big role to play. There's curbside recycling, of course, but where we are, only codes 1 and 2 can be recycled. Code 5 has to go to a waste transfer station, so that's okay. But sometimes you've got all these other ones in between, other numbers, and then you've got ones polystyrene with plastic and things attached to them, and tinfoil glued on and onto paper and stuff. Well, that's a different story again. But the recycling thing's not quite as simple as one might imagine. You only can recycle plastics a couple of times, and then you'll notice, like when you buy something, sometimes I've come across stuff with no code on it. It should be illegal if you're making a product. What are you going to do? It's just made for landfill. Maybe those codes have to be mandated on. And I've actually rung up the supermarket and managed to 3 days later get a code out of them. On something. It is possible, but it's kind of hassly. It should be just like so easy to do. And if companies are making these products that you can't recycle, well, they should be making plastics that can be recycled. They shouldn't be able to be sold in that area otherwise. Those are my thoughts on it anyway. Take it as you will. The other thing too is, like, it's up to householders to make sure that there's not contamination. And I've seen grass clippings, I've seen all sorts of things, and with the glass and cardboard recycling bins. As I was a gardener, and you'd see all sorts of things. People make it really difficult for the recyclers. And also, I once met a girl that used to drive one of those recycling trucks, and she said, sometimes I just can't take any more plastics and it just goes in the landfill anyway. But that's not the way to look at it. You've got to imagine that every piece that's possible gets made into something else. And getting back to microplastics, like, we're eating heaps of it. It's getting into our tissues. We're breathing it in, we're eating it. You're cutting a chopping board made out of plastic, you're getting some of those fibres in. Like, your chopping board does wear out, doesn't it? And you've just eaten that. Or there's you're scraping the peanut butter jar and it's made out of plastic. So a good idea is to make them out. Get one that's glass if you can, so you can scrape it, because you're not getting all those little scrapings of plastic in there. Same with the jam and that sort of stuff. There's a few little things you can do to save yourself ingesting plastics. They say in a tea bag you're ingesting about 2 or 3 little bits of plastic in it. So, who knows? There's a whole lot, and even the fish are getting microplastics because there's no filters on the washing machines, and you're getting all these synthetic fibres going out into the ocean, like getting caught between the waste treatment plant and the ocean. These fish are getting things in their guts and not making them too good, and then some cultures eat the guts as well of fish, eat the whole fish, so they're going to get a whole lot of plastic. It's not terribly flash, and once it gets in there, it gets smaller and smaller, and you get all these tiny microplastics everywhere. I've actually done a beach cleanup looking for microplastics, and we've got a whole trailer load off a small beach. lots of us, and just had sacks, just filling up every little bit of plastic we could find. So yeah, and you only get in the stuff that you see on the top. You know, the sand is plastic in some places, I suppose. Yeah. So anyway, there's my 2 cents for it. I'm on my soapbox here. So anyway, yeah, watch out for microplastics. Use a wooden cutting board. Avoid those plastic utensils you use for scraping stuff on your fry pan and that. Yeah, just go for a stainless steel, probably easier. Stainless steel spatula. Yeah, use glass where you've got the option. And yeah, try and minimise the plastics that get in you, because there is a, you know, the hormone, you know, there is a hormone mimicking agent in the plastic. So yeah, it's an estrogen mimicker, so it's not great for guys, not great for girls either. So yeah, so yeah, we and it's pretty widespread, so we need to start early before it gets too much of more of a problem. So anyway, there is hope, and if we all do our part, we need to put some pressure on the governments to put codes on everything, and those companies that choose to do unusual plastic codes, well, they have a responsibility to deal with their own waste. So yeah, that'd be a good thing to see. So alrighty, I'll leave it to it, and don't forget to put the thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll find some more interesting stuff, or I'll come up with some interesting stuff. Alrighty, see ya.